The swamp just gave something up. Something ancient, something man-made, something that was sitting in the saturated soil of Oak Island's most mysterious body of water, hidden under centuries of sediment and water pressure, and what it pointed toward on Lot 8 was so significant that the team is calling it a revelation. Welcome back. Season 13 Episode 20 of The Curse of Oak Island is titled The Sands of Time, and the official summary tells us exactly what kind of episode this is going to be. After finding evidence of ancient man-made workings in the swamp, the team makes a shocking revelation on Lot 8, 2 sites, 2 discoveries, and a connection between them that is forcing the team to reframe everything they thought they knew about the layout of this island and who designed it. Today we are breaking down what the swamp has been hiding, why its connection to Lot 8 matters more than any single discovery either site has produced alone, and what the title The Sands of Time is telling us about where this investigation stands after 231 years. The sands have been falling for a long time on this island. In episode 20, they finally unlock a new clue. Let's get into it. Before we talk about episode 20, we need to set the stage, because the swamp and Lot 8 have both been building toward this moment all season, and understanding the backstory of each site makes the connection between them in episode 20 land with the full weight it deserves. The Oak Island swamp is not natural. That has been established and confirmed across multiple seasons of investigation. The swamp was created deliberately, flooded intentionally, possibly to conceal construction activity at its edges and beneath its surface, possibly to serve as a defensive barrier around the access points to whatever is buried at the island's heart. In Season 13, the swamp has yielded one significant discovery after another. A cobblestone road running through the bog, hand-cut wooden survey stakes aligned precisely with Nolan's cross, a swamp artifact in episode 7 that triggered a potentially history-changing revelation, a find in episode 6 confirmed to be at least 500 years old, and in episode 15, a swamp discovery with explosive implications that the team is still processing. Every time the team goes into that swamp in Season 13, it gives something up, and every time, what it gives up points somewhere else on the island. This time, it points to Lot 8. Now Lot 8, the site of the 40,000-pound boulder raised in episode 16, the man-made feature exposed beneath it in episode 18, the deliberately constructed stonework, the flagstone floor, the stacked rock formation that archaeologist Fiona Steele said predates the 1700s and has no parallel anywhere else in Nova Scotia, the blue-gray clay and charcoal mortar she found binding the stones, the same clay composition found deep in the money pit and at Nolan's cross, the fire-setting chemistry confirmed by Dr. Ian Spooner in the soil beneath the feature, lead concentrations 11 times the island baseline, migrating through ash and coal layers in the pattern of controlled underground burning, the medieval construction technique used to drive shafts and build sealed vaults, and in episode 19, the new research connecting the island's geometric axis to 3 medieval churches in France, all aligned at 292 degrees, all bearing the 4-dot Templar cross, all pointing across the Atlantic directly at Oak Island. Coming into episode 20, the Lot 8 excavation is fully active. Fiona Steele is in the dig. The mortar has been sent for extort laboratory analysis. The flagstone floor beneath the constructed stonework is the last physical barrier between the team and whatever is in the shaft below. And the question of what the swamp has just found and what it tells the team about Lot 8 is about to produce a revelation that the show itself describes as shocking. Now let's talk about what ancient man-made workings in the swamp actually means, because that phrase in the official summary is doing enormous work. Man-made workings is not the language the show uses for a coin or an artifact or a piece of timber. Man-made workings means infrastructure. It means construction. It means the kind of engineered, deliberate modification of the physical landscape that requires organized effort, specialized knowledge, and a long-term plan. Stone arrangements, timber framing, drainage channels, foundations. The kind of work that, if it is sitting at the bottom of the Oak Island swamp, has been submerged for centuries. Preserved in the anaerobic conditions of the bog, the same conditions that preserved the cobblestone road, the survey stakes, and the 500-year-old artifacts found earlier in the season, but invisible from the surface, and inaccessible without the right equipment and the right expertise. The fact that these workings are described as ancient matters enormously. Ancient does not mean 1700s. Ancient does not mean colonial. On this island, ancient means pre-contact. It means construction activity that predates any documented European presence in Nova Scotia, which means whoever built what is at the bottom of the Oak Island swamp was here before history says anyone was was here. The same conclusion the Leeds bag seal points to. The same conclusion the three French churches' transatlantic axis points to. The same conclusion the fire-setting chemistry and the Templar cross and the Roman coins all point to. Someone was here. They built things. And they built them in at least two locations, the swamp and Lot 8, that are now, in episode 20, proving to be connected. That connection is the revelation, and it changes the scale of what the team is dealing with. Here is why the swamp to Lot 8 connection matters so profoundly. If the man-made workings in the swamp and the man-made feature on Lot 8 are physically linked, if they share a construction program, a construction era, and a construction purpose, then Oak Island is not a site with a buried treasure. It is a site with a buried system. A coordinated island-wide, multi-component engineering project that used the swamp as one zone, Lot 8 as another, the Money Pit as a third, Nolan's Cross as a fourth, and Smith's Cove as a fifth, all connected by the same geometric axis, all sealed with the same blue clay mortar, all built by the same organization in the same period of history. The cobblestone road in the swamp runs toward Lot 8. The survey stakes in the swamp align with Nolan's Cross. Nolan's Cross has blue clay at its base, the same material as the Lot 8 mortar and the Money Pit's waterproofing layer. The axis from the three French churches passes through all of it. If the swamp's ancient man-made workings are the foundation or the access structure of that system, the entry point the builders used when they first arrived on the island before they flooded the bog to conceal their work, then episode 20 is the episode where the team finds the front door. And finding the front door tells them something new about the Lot 8 feature, something that constitutes a revelation, something that may confirm the nature, the depth, or the purpose of what the 40,000-pound boulder was sealing. Now let's bring in the title, because The Sands of Time is not just poetic, it is a precise description of what this episode is actually doing to the investigation. Sand is what fills spaces over time. When an underground shaft is sealed, when a stone feature is buried, when a swamp is flooded over a construction site, sand and sediment fill the voids. They record the history of what happened there, layer by layer, the way a geological column records the history of the Earth. The sands of time are the layers the team is reading when Dr. Spooner runs his XRF scanner across the soil. They are the layers the auger brings up when the Karma 1 drill penetrates another 10 feet toward the solution channel. They are the layers Fiona Steele is brushing away in the Lot 8 excavation, 1 centimeter at a time, reading the compressed record of centuries. And the new clue that the sands unlock in episode 20 is what those layers have been building toward. The swamp's ancient workings are not just a discovery, they are a layer in the record. A layer that, when read alongside the Lot 8 mortar and the Money Pit's silver chemistry and the Templar axis and the medieval artifacts, tells the complete story, or at least enough of it to constitute a revelation. The Money Pit front remains active through all of this. The Karma 1 drilling campaign has reached 212 feet, the deepest in Oak Island history, targeting the solution channel where silver concentrations have been confirmed across multiple boreholes. Borehole F5.5, 7 feet from the highest gold readings ever recorded on the island. Borehole G4.5, targeting the solution channel between 168 and 212 feet. The XRD laboratory results on the blue-gray mortar from the Lot 8 feature, which will help date the structure and identify its construction tradition. All of this is running in parallel with the swamp excavation and the Lot 8 revelation, all of it moving simultaneously toward the same answer. For Rick and Marty Lagina, episode 20 represents something that has no precedent in 13 seasons on this island. Two separate sites on the same island producing discoveries in the same episode that connect to each other. The swamp tells them something. That something changes what they understand about Lot 8, and what they find on Lot 8 with that new understanding is the revelation. It is not one discovery validating a theory. It is two discoveries validating each other, and validating the 231 years of investigation that led the team to both sites at the same time. Episode 21, A Sacred Symbol, airs April 7, 2026. The team makes a find in the Money Pit that offers new evidence of a possible Templar tie to the Oak Island mystery. The momentum is not slowing, it is building, and what the Sands of Time unlocks in episode 20 is the key that episode 21 will use to open the next door. Subscribe and hit the bell right now so you are here the moment the full episode 20 breakdown drops the second it airs. And tell me in the comments, ancient man-made workings in the swamp, connected to a revelation on Lot 8. What do you think the workings are? What do you think the revelation is? The sands of time have been falling on Oak Island for 231 years. Episode 20 is the moment they unlock a new clue. And this clue is not pointing somewhere vague. It is pointing somewhere very specific. And the team is already standing on it.